everybody. Welcome back to the Coffee Breath Podcast. I am your host, Taylor. I hope that you're doing well today. I am going to be completely transparent with you. I am hopped up on a lot of medication because my hip it's like on fire today. And as Jenna Marbles would say, as a 31-year-old lady, these are just the things of getting older, getting wiser. But no, my hip is in excruciating pain. So I've got some like topical pain reliever on it. I've been doing like icing and some heating on it. But it feels like I remember playing with my Barbies growing up, and one of the legs would like pop, like the leg would pop out of the hip socket. And that is how my left hip is feeling today. Because as a 31-year-old lady, I went hiking yesterday. And not just a little like, we went for, a nice brisk walk on the trail on these very, very like, just what are these? This is the Midwest. We live in like the plains, it's very like flatland, like little hills and things. But where we live, it's like 45 minutes southwest suburbs of Chicago, southwest suburbs of Chicago, and we went out west to Utica. It's Utica? Yeah, I think it's Utica, to Starved Rock National Park. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, I've been there a bunch of times. I want to say the number one national park in like Illinois, or state park, or whatever you consider that. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. You can actually get in a good solid hike. Like there were moments where I was like, it feels like I'm in the Pacific Northwest. Like just beautiful waterfalls, which there wasn't too much water this time, but also we're in the summer and I don't feel like that's like truly waterfall season. I think that, that's more of like the spring or the fall. So, I mean, obviously those are great times to go because then there's like the changing of the leaves and all the foliage and all of that. But, in Illinois now, we don't really get seasons. Like we get seasons. We do have seasons, but they're more of extreme weather seasons. You have spring, which is like 2 weeks. Summer, which feels like, 2 to 3 months, which maybe it is that anyways. Fall is like a blink of an eye, because then we also have that like prolonged kind of summer where it's just like really, really hot. I think they call it like Indian summer, but I don't, why do we call it that? So let's not call it that, because that sounds like, we're using it as a racial slur. But again, I'm not sure where that term comes from, but so it's just like in that extended type of like summer, fall. And then we go straight into winter, which feels like, 6 to 7 months of just pure like torture and misery. Snow is beautiful, but I'm kind of like over it. If I never have to see it again, that's fine. Or maybe if we just didn't have those like -40 kind of days. But back to it. So we went hiking, and I was making sure like we're going to go super, super early. So it was just me and my roommate. We went on Friday morning. So I got up at 4:30, got ready. We left the house around like 6 o'clock. We got there around 7. So the sun was already up. That's up at like 5:30. But the park, I guess, doesn't open until 7 a.m. So we made it, like perfectly on time. There was maybe 2 or 3 other cars in the parking lot, which is like just like the main big parking lot. There's other little offshoots and things. Yeah, we were like the 3rd or 4th car there. And we got to get onto the trail and just really, it wasn't like that heat of the day yet. And there wasn't all of the people, which, is just like, when I'm out in nature, I want to feel like I'm out in nature. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm so happy that other people want to go and be in nature as well. Like, I love that, because obviously it's so healing, and like we really need people to appreciate, the world around us, and appreciate our fellow humans. I know I'm trying to work on it. It's just people are really starting to, just really get under my skin. But no, there was like hardly anybody there. We were able to, like run up different like off trails, and I wore like my actual hiking like mountain boots, and those got like dirty. We were like climbing around where it's like muddy and stuff. So that was a lot of fun. But 3 hours in, and you still have like that trek to go back, and you're like, fuck. And I wanted to keep going. And this was about like 10:30, 11 a.m. Then it just started to get like swarmed. People just started flooding in like sardines. And I don't just mean like, like every couple of steps, every couple of like 100 feet, we would run into somebody. No, it was like on our trek back, it was just a line, just a sea of people, as if everybody was like going into church, or, everyone was like going into class or something. Like just as if a bunch of buses came and all for the same group, and just let a bunch of people free. And then they just started wandering around, and I was like, oh my God, why is there so many people here? It's a Friday morning before noon. But then I thought, oh yeah, we always think that nobody else thinks like us. Well, we want people to think like us. But in those ways of like, oh, well, everyone will go on a Saturday. Everyone will go on a Sunday. No, a lot of people do think like you on that. And they're like, well, I'll go on a Friday before noon because a lot of other people won't be there. And there were a lot of people wearing masks. We had our masks with us. For the most part, we didn't have to, like on our actual journey and like trek, we didn't have to wear them. But when we would like pass people, we would put them up. But then it just got to the point where like we had to wear them for like the last 10 minutes of the way back. Which, is fine. I mean, this is doctors, surgeons, nurses, they all wear those masks, and other type of workers too wear those kind of masks for hours upon hours. So if they can do it, we can do it. But, yeah, I understand what people are saying. It is uncomfortable when you're hiking and you're sweating through it, and you're like already can't breathe because you have asthma, and you're hiking, and you might partake in some herbal remedies. So yeah, I lose my breath a little bit easier than other people. But so again, I get it. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's just something that we have to do when we are around people. And then when you're not around people, you don't have to wear it. But yeah, damn, people just started filing in. So I was like, we are leaving at the perfect time. Perfect time. But it's a nice reminder, like getting back to the hiking thing. And, around here in the suburbs where I live, we have these nice trails. And I am very grateful, and I'm very appreciative that we do have that, because, I could be living smack dab in the city where there's, barely any trees or something like that. So I am very grateful that we do have some trails that we can go on. The only thing that you really have to worry about where I live, we don't, like maybe coyotes, because we don't have mountain lions or like rattlesnakes or shit, like, how they have out west, or bears. You might run into a coyote, but for the most part, not really. The most dangerous thing where I live, if you're on a trail, sorry, my voice. The most dangerous thing where I live, if you're on a trail, is other people. And we've had some cases. We've had cases of, which, that this shit happens everywhere, unfortunately. But we've had some cases where there's been, guys like groping women while they're like jogging, like just fucking it's bad enough that I feel like I can't go places at night by myself. But like, if I want to go for a sweaty jog and I can't go by myself, like, fuck off. God. And you know what? Let's get one thing straight. Of course, we need to teach our daughters and, fellow ladies about, how to protect yourselves. But the most important part is teaching our sons and fellow young gentlemen that, you know, rape is not cool, nor fun, nor fresh, nor acceptable. And let's start going that route instead of going like the precautionary route. Just go the educational route. Like, go to the source. And I know that women do that shit too. Because people, unfortunately, can sometimes be the worst. And I am trying my damned hardest. Let me tell you, I am trying my fucking hardest right now to really see the good in people and to remember that, like, we're all born into this world as pure, innocent souls, and we're just taught hate. And I know that, but like sometimes I'm just like, oh, but so if you're taught that, and then it's been like 50 years of your life of that shit, is it gonna take 50 years of your life to like unlearn that and like relearn? Like, can you just like expedite that shit a little bit? But again, I have to remember that there is good out there. And yeah, there's a lot of focus on the what people would call like the negativity in social media and in the news and the media right now. Like, well, yeah, isn't that kind of what the news is supposed to report on? Is like, hey, there's a crime happening over here. Like, hey, there's a humanitarian crisis in Yemen. Or like, hey, 8 million children are missing. Or like, hey, Epstein, you know, didn't kill himself. Like, I understand that, like, you know, there's been so much going on lately and it can be overwhelming. So, of course, take breaks, rest up, revitalize, and then, like, get back to it. But I'm just seeing a lot of people who are just like, there's so much negativity and we just need to keep spreading positivity. I'm like, yeah, of course. Of course we need to keep spreading positivity. But we cannot turn a blind eye when there are literal crimes happening next door to us, you know? I remember in college we called it Eye of the Tiger. Like, if you saw something like empty cup or like a plastic water bottle on the ground, like if you see it, then you pick it up. Like, yeah, if you don't see it, you can't do anything about it. But if you see that garbage, that litter on the ground, and you see it, and you keep walking, it's like, no, go back. Eye of the tiger. Like, you saw it, pick it up, put it in the trash, you know, and then keep going on with your day. Oh, fuck, where was I going with that? Eye of the tiger, eye of the tiger. It's the... Was it cream of the crop? It's the cream of the... I don't know. Copyright on that song? See the good in everybody. See the good in everybody. Eye of the tiger. Where the fuck was I going with that? But let's just keep going on that, like, side path. Garbage. There was so much trash. Absolutely so much trash at Starved Rock. And it just... Again, I'm like, okay, try to see the good in people, Taylor. Everybody has good and light within them. And then I'm like, oh, empty water bottle. Oh, face mask. Oh, a chip bag. Oh, a whole entire, like, duvet blanket. What? There was so much trash. It's so disheartening. And I understand with COVID, like, maybe there's not a lot of... like cleanup going on at the parks because, you know, job losses and things like that. But at the same time, I'm like, shit, I need to, like, go back, even though it's like an hour away. Who fucking cares? But also, you know, take care of my local streets too. But I feel like I need to go back with, like, a bunch of garbage bags and just start, you know, and obviously like a hazmat suit and just start picking trash up because it was so fucking sad. You know, I get out to a vantage point or like a viewpoint, and I'm looking out and I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. I can see the river and I can see, you know, these beautiful canyons, and then, oh, wow, all that's a bunch of trash. That fucking ruins it for me. You know, it's like, imagine traveling across the country to go see the Grand Canyon. And then it was just like everyone's trash inside. It's so disheartening. Also, don't bring water. Like, don't bring plastic water bottles. Buy a fucking canteen. If you spend like $50 on a good stainless steel canteen, water bottle, you're not going to leave that shit there because you spent so much money on it. Also, that shit is going to stay cold or hot depending on whatever temperature that you put it in there. So do the right thing. I have the tiger. I have the tiger. Maybe that's going to be this episode name. I have the tiger. I really want to know what I was talking about. I could pause this and go back and look. But am I gonna? That's a reference to Tana Mongoose at her TanaCon. Oh, God. That was the whole thing. All right. So besides hiking, it was beautiful. But my hip fucking hurts. It's that Barbie doll hip and leg just popped out of its socket. But I'm taking care of it. I'm feeling pretty good. Besides the pain. But let's go into the pain that is within my heart right now. Well, it's not actual pain. It's more of a complete, beautiful, beautiful, joyous pain. Taylor Swift. My girl Taylor Swift. Not my girl, but like my other Taylor in life. She just dropped the most beautiful album ever. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, if like you're a stan or if you're like a huge like supporter of Taylor, of course you're going to say that. Of course, every album, every girl cries at and like listens to while they're lying in bed or, like hugging their pillow because they're, heartbroken or maybe they're listening to an album where she's in love or whatever it is. I know we can get all like high school girl about it, but like, can I actually get high school girl about it for a moment? Because I didn't realize I was gonna cry that much. This album, Folklore, like, I can talk about it as much as I want, but you just have to listen to it. And I'm sure you have. I know, Steph, if you're watching or listening to this, I know that you have because obviously you listened as soon as she dropped it because you have like VIP secret access or whatever. But it is beautiful. She talks about, and it's like this like indie folk kind of poppy. Oh, it's just beautiful. She, obviously she speaks about romance and then there's heartbreak and, then there's like the beauty in it, but then there's also like strength and empowerment, especially for women and also like what's just kind of going on in our world of 2020 right now. Like there's a lot. I mean, I only listened to the album once. I only listened to each song once, but I cried throughout the whole entire thing. And, it was a like ugly cry. But you need a good ugly cry every now and then. But I just wanted to read a couple of lyrics from her song Mad Woman. And it's just, I don't want to say, I only listened to the album once. So I can't say, oh my God, this is my favorite song off the album. But this is one that really, besides the like My Tears Ricochet or whatever that song is called, that one definitely got me that one hit hard. But this one is just like, I just resonate with it so much. So I'm not going to go through the whole entire song. I want you to listen to it because I'm obviously not going to do it justice. But I'm not going to sing it. I almost said that. I'm going to tell you the pre-chorus. So it's, every time you call me crazy, I get more crazy. What about that? And when you say I seem angry, I get more angry. And then the chorus. And then there's nothing like a mad woman. What a shame she went mad. No one likes a mad woman. You made her like that. And you'll poke that bear till her claws come out. And you find something to wrap your noose around. And there's nothing like a mad woman. And that pre-chorus, it hits hard with me because, I feel like she's talking about gaslighting and that. So again, every time you call me crazy, I get more crazy. What about that? And when you say I seem angry, I get more angry. And I dated a guy who every time I would get upset about something, and I understand if I'm like, oh my God, there's a spider over there. And I'm like dramatically freaking out about it. And then it's like, yeah, it's like, tell me, maybe like calm down, or like give me a subtle like, oh, relax, babe, like I got it. But anytime I would get like rightfully so upset about something, I could be even crying, he would just be like, just relax. You just calm down. Just relax. Ugh, relax. And when he would tell me that, can I just tell you, my blood would then start boiling, and it's like, oh no, motherfucker, like I was relaxed, but now I'm not fucking relaxed because you just fucking told me to relax. And also, I understand if I was freaking out about something that maybe is like not valid, but if I am, definitely do not tell a woman or a man or whatever you want to identify as. Do not tell a person to fucking calm down when they are rightfully so upset about something, because it is going to do the complete opposite. You are throwing gasoline on a giant fire. So try not to do that. Try not to do that. So it's like, yeah, when you say I seem angry, I get more angry. Like, yeah, I'm fucking angry. And that you're pointing out that I'm angry. Well, yeah, I am fucking angry, and this is what I'm angry about, and I'm going to tell you about it. And honestly, there is nothing like a mad woman. You know, I love true crime, and I absorb and consume that kind of content on the daily. Sorry, I have like a little wheeze in my windpipes. So I love true crime shit, but you know, I don't know the logistics and actual statistics of like, well, men kill more than women, or like women kill more than men, or like all like whatever that controversial conversation would be. But I feel like, and this is just an opinion off the top of my head because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I have heard this before, and I'm kind of like, oh, you know what, that kind of seems true. It's like, yeah, I understand hurt people, and normally when you look at like, you know, any of these men who are, you know, serial killers and murderers and just like terrible people, you look at like their upbringing and was it nurture versus nature, and like what were their parents like and all of that. So I understand that, like, yeah, it could maybe not totally be their. I'm not saying like it's not their fault, because if you kill somebody, that is your fault. But you know, if it's the whole nurture part, I understand that they were taught a certain way. But so I feel like with male murderers and serial killers, it's like or you know, when they do sexual harassment or sexual assaults, I feel like that's a fucked up part in them, and they're just like that's part of like their mental illness. But again, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not a professional. But I feel like when women, yeah, of course, there's mental illness in women too. But I feel like a lot of the time, and maybe it's just the TV channel Oxygen that taught me this because of their show Snapped. It's just about women murderers, female murderers. You know, it's always some story of like, well, yeah, she, you know, castrated him, cut his heart out, ate it, and, you know, then ran around town naked. But he also like abused her for 40 years and, you know, gaslighted her and like drove her to madness. I feel like there's like a lot of stories like that. But again, I'm no professional. I'm no expert. So I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I feel like that is kind of maybe a thing. Maybe. And there is really nothing like a mad woman. Like, if you fucking push us, we snap. And I know anybody snaps. But also, like, men have, you know, that, like, upper body physical strength. I get that. It's just kind of, like, in their build and stuff. And when we can build up to that. We can get strength, too. But you know what I'm saying. Just that, like, that physical aspect to them. But with women, it's, like, don't fuck with us. Because our strength is in our minds. Like, we have mental strength. Don't they say men can't really multitask in their minds, but women, we can do like 50 things up here? But again, don't push a woman, because we are strong and we are powerful. And like Glennon Doyle says, we are goddamn cheetahs, and we will not be tamed. We will be wild. And I hope that every woman and every man, and again, anything that you identify as, no matter who you are, I hope that you wake up to that wildness within yourself. Don't let them tame you, dude. Never be tamed. So yeah, I hope that you listen to Taylor's album, because it's perfection. It was beautiful, and I can't wait to listen to it again. But forewarning, because nobody warned me, you're not going to want to listen to it in the middle of the day on a Saturday, because what if you have to go to the store and the only thing that people can see are your eyes, and they're like bloodshot and they're puffy because you've been crying because somebody, made the most beautiful album in a very long time. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just like kind of... I listen to a lot of music. I listen to good music. Don't get me wrong. Of course, people are like, if you think that Taylor Swift has the best album of all time, it's like, no, Kanye, calm down. But it was just so moving and so beautiful. And yeah, it might not touch the heart of, like my friend Kevin, who is like very masculine, very like does jujitsu, like all that kind of stuff. Maybe he might, if he listened to it, he might be like, yeah, it's like catchy, but like I'm not gonna fucking cry my eyes out over it, Taylor. But no, it's like that 15-year-old girl in my heart, and she hears that music, and also it's just like the instrumentals on it. Whew, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So listen to it. But let's get into a little tarot, my friends. Let's see what we need to be shown. What do I need to know? Or let's go with an actual question today. How can I bring some balance into my life? Sorry, I apologize if that shuffling is loud for my audio listeners. Well, I mean for YouTube listeners too, because this is the same audio that I'm using. What do I need to see? I'm going to cut the deck into 3. Rearrange back into one pile. I'm just going to pick that top card. And we have the Star. Pull out my handy dandy little book, because I do not have these memorized. Oh, that's a big number. All right, the Star. Hope, peace of mind. Standing outside on a dark night, you gaze up at the stars and sense glimmers of wonder and hope. Even though you can't find concrete answers to life's many questions up there in the sky, you can't help but feel comforted and renewed. Such is the energy of the Star card. It is not about actions or situations. It's simply about connecting to the part of you that is hopeful and serene. This force will bring light back into your life and infuse you with positivity. A lovely card. So that's a good message, especially for everything that I said before the tarot card reading of like, everyone like positivity and whatever. And yeah, there is forms of toxic positivity, and I feel like, yeah, we don't need to be doing that. Like, don't try to cover up all these terrible things that are happening in the world, because we do need to, bring awareness, and we do need to keep a spotlight on all of these things. Excuse me. But, that card's right. And I was wrong, because we do need to keep bringing positivity into the world without, casting shadows. Oop. Hold on one second. My card went out. But we need to, bring that positivity in to the world, because obviously we need that. but we just need to bring that positivity in where it's not, where that light isn't casting shadows over, you know, very important things that are going on. And yeah, I need some hope. I need some serenity. We all need some hope and some serenity of what's going on in this world right now, because it's beautifully chaotic and fucked up. But that's it for this episode of my inner thoughts and my ramblings and sharing, sharing my story of Starved Rock with you. Go out into nature, be in nature. It feels so good. It brings a lot of healing. It helps calm your mind. And it's a great type of, workout. It's a whole body workout, but, rest when you need to. Maybe don't push yourself to climb up all those canyons like I did. Maybe just walk the trail. Maybe just do that. Maybe, just do some sightseeing. But clear your mind. Bring some hope. Bring some serenity. Bring some positivity into your life. And with that positivity being said, I'm going to close this episode out with a little song that I created for you. It's called The Mask Song. Wear your mask because there's a pandemic, and it's a global pandemic. It's not just a conspiracy theory. Wear your mask, but wear it on top of your nose and your mouth, not just on your mouth. And it also gets a little open at the little part underneath your nose. So wear your mask onto your whole face, and also listen to the health officials and the scientists. All right, guys, have a good one. See you next time. Peace.